I do believe in the old saying, what does not kill you makes you stronger. Our experiences, good and bad, make us who we are. By overcoming difficulties, we gain strength and maturity. If you don't get out of the box you've been raised in, you won't understand how much bigger the world is. I've been reckless, but I'm not a rebel without a cause. I'm happy being myself, which I've never been before. I always hid in other people, or tried to find myself through the characters, or live out their lives, but I didn't have those things in mine. The truth is I love being alive. And I love feeling free. So if I can't have those things, then I feel like a caged animal, and I'd rather not be in a cage. I'd rather be dead. And it's real simple. And I think it's not that uncommon. If I make a fool of myself, who cares? I'm not frightened by anyone's perception of me. When other little girls wanted to be ballet dancers, I kind of wanted to be a vampire. I have so much in my life. I want to be of value to the world. We have a choice about how we take what happens to us in our life and whether or not we allow it to turn us. We can become consumed by hate and darkness, or we're able to regain our humanity somehow, or come to terms with things and learn something about ourselves. If every choice you make comes from an honest place, you're solid, and nothing anybody can say about you can rock you or change your opinion. Oh, God, I struggle with low self-esteem all the time. I think everyone does. I have so much wrong with me, it's unbelievable. To be clear, we have fights and problems like any other couple. War is so complex, human nature is so complex. There's no filmmaker who has ever figured it out perfectly. Sexism is part of every industry and must be addressed. But I try not to focus on the negative but the positive side of what we can bring. He knows my limitations and where I'm a good wife and a good mom. My whole family have all been through a difficult time. My focus is my children, our children. I'd like to think that I'm a calm and sweet person. I tend to be very playful at home with my children, but in life, we have to fight our battles, our work battles, our political battles, our personal battles, and we're focused. I do have tattoos, and I do wear leather, but there are other sides of me that my film express. To be intimate with a married man, when my own father cheated on my mother, is not something I could forgive. I could not look at myself in the morning if I did that. I wouldn't be attracted to a man who would cheat on his wife. Without pain, there would be no suffering. Without suffering, we would never learn from our mistakes. To make it right, pain and suffering is the key to all windows. Without it, there is no way of life. Our diversity is our strength. What a dull and pointless life it would be if everyone was the same. I need more sex, okay? Before I die, I want to taste everyone in the world. There's something about death that is comforting. The thought that you could die tomorrow frees you to appreciate your life now. Anytime I feel lost, I pull out a map and stare. I stare until I have reminded myself that life is a giant adventure, so much to do, to see. Life comes with many challenges. The ones that should not scare us are the ones we can take on and take control of. What nourishes me also destroys me. Sometimes I think my husband is so amazing that I don't know why he's with me. I don't know whether I'm good enough. But if I make him happy, then I'm everything I want to be. They are right to think that about me, because I'm the person most likely to sleep with my female fans. I genuinely love other women. And I think they know that. I probably wouldn't have made it this far if I were a refugee. When I feel I'm doing too much, I do less if I can. Ever since I dated a woman, I know what it is to grab a curve on a woman's body. Skinny's not fine when the lights are low. Homework's hard. Especially math. My kids joke with me. They tell me they have homework. I say, okay. And then I sit down and they say, it's math. No. Not math. English, history, anything. Every woman is different when they go through menopause, and I didn't know emotionally how I would feel. I never like being touched, ever. People used to say I held my breath when they were hugging me. I still do. Men don't really like skinny, do they? I was the punk outsider who nobody messed with. I was fearless. At 16, I graduated and moved out. It's a great thing about being pregnant, you don't need excuses to pee or to eat. If I didn't have my films as an outlet for all the different sides of me, I would probably be locked up. Most women in my family start to get sick and start dying in their 40s, and I am going to be very happy to become 50 and 60. I love getting older. I try to lead by example, being conscious of others and being responsible. Make bold choices and make mistakes. It's all those things that add up to the person you become. Wherever I am, I always find myself looking out the window wishing I was somewhere else. All women do have a different sense of sexuality, or sense of fun, or sense of like what's sexy or cool or tough. I always play women I would date. When you work as a humanitarian, you are conscious that politics have to be considered. Because if you really want to make an extreme change, then you have a responsibility. When I get logical, and I don't trust my instincts, that's when I get in trouble. I am a strong believer that without justice, there is no peace. No lasting peace, anyway. It is really funny when people say you'd be obvious for a great villain. I actually feel more of a woman because I feel like I'm being smart about my choices, and I'm putting my family first, and I'm in charge of my life and my health. I think that's what makes a woman complete. If you ask people what they've always wanted to do, most people haven't done it. That breaks my heart. I made a decision to have a preventive double mastectomy. I started with the breasts, as my risk of breast cancer is higher than my risk of ovarian cancer, and the surgery is more complex. If I think more about death than some other people, it is probably because I love life more than they do. I am odd-looking. I sometimes think I look like a funny Muppet. I am getting a wrinkle above my eyebrow because I just can't stop lifting it, and I love that, you know. I love Brad in every state. Sometimes, women in families put themselves last until it manifests itself in their own health. Without Cambodia, I may never have become a mother. Part of my heart is and will always be in this country. And part of this country is always with me, Maddox. I didn't even know I needed throw pillows. That was always Brad's thing. I'm a very private person. I don't go out much. I'm home with kids. I go to work. I don't really like being the focus of attention, which is why I like being behind the camera more. We care for each other and care about our family, and we are both working towards the same goal.